Welcome back. This is Empower, where we focus on people and workplace. We connect to empower and inspire as we desire to be who God made us to be. And before we took a break, we were looking at engineering and a lady who is together with us today called Carol, and how she's continuing on her journey as she serves in Missions Aviation Fellowship. Carol, you are a Christian and you're serving the children ministry. And this is very good. And as I said when you're starting the program, we want to be light wherever God has placed us. For example, now being in Wilson Airport, where you work every day, when you interact with other young people, our desire is that you be the light in the world. Because that is why we are here. And actually, Jesus said we should be the light. Yeah. And that is what we continue to promote every day. So I want to understand, Carol, how does your faith affect how you work on a daily basis as an engineer?
I thank my company a lot because it's a Christian company.
Yes.
So that's actually a very good base. Mm-hmm. We pray every morning.
Yes.
So we commit everything that we do to God before we do it.
Yes.
And also that's what I also do at just in my personal time. I pray and ask God to guide me, because without God I don't think we can do anything in this world, and we can be able to be at least to be able to reach out to people who are not able to be reached out to. So yeah, I use prayer. Prayer is a very good tool that helps me. Yeah.
Now, would you say that maybe the steps that you've grown, for example, the time you joined as intern in MAF until where you are, how have you involved God in that whole journey? Because there are transitions, more responsibilities coming your way, and you still have to maintain that faith. So how have you been able to balance that?
Everything I do it with God, and every step that I have taken, I believe it's God who has taken me there. So I ask Him to just hold my hand, because without Him I wouldn't even be here. So we are actually good friends. So we just talk like father and daughter, and just He knows everything. Yeah.
So for you, it's a relationship.
Yeah, it's a relationship.
That even the steps. So when you look back, you can see this father who has held your hand, taken you those steps until where you are.
Yeah.
And why are young people struggling with this? Because I'm happy to hear what you're saying, and the fact that someone can see it, as you explain, is a relationship between my father and myself, and he has been involved in every step. I can imagine like the way parents are involved in the steps of their children, taking them to school, making sure like now the others are getting to Form 1, they're busy doing it, and that involvement. And a parent actually is disturbed and even worried in case they don't have it. And they're thinking about it, even when the child is not thinking and just looking forward, on Monday next week, I'm going to school, not bothered, doesn't care where the fees is coming from, but they know I'm going to school on this date. And I love it when I hear you say it's a relationship between you and your Father in heaven. But why is we still having young people struggling with this, according to you, because you're a young person? Why do you think they're still struggling in such a relationship? And they're still, even if they are Christians, still they divert, they're not able to stand still. Yeah.
I will speak from my perspective.
Yes.
I've seen young people want things done immediately.
Yes.
And God answers in 3 ways. Yes, no, or wait. So we want all our answers to be yes and now.
Yes.
And that's something that makes us as young people to start losing faith in God. I believe God tells us to wait so that our faith can grow in Him.
Yes.
And so that we can be able to see miracles through what He is doing.
Yes.
So young people don't see it that way. We believe that because He's our dad, He needs to give us now. Because He said He's going to give us, can He give it to us now and give it to us in very big ways?
Yes.
But I believe God likes to make us wait so that we can actually be miracles and testimonies to other people.
Wow.
So that's the reason why young people tend to, if God doesn't answer, they're like, he doesn't love me. I don't think this faith is real. They try to look for other ways that they can get their answers quicker, and doesn't work.
Wow, that's amazing. And I'm just thinking, when you're talking, I thought about it, maybe to ask you this question. What you're doing right now, Carol, if 6 years ago, you prayed, God, I want to be Avionic's manager, and God gave you 6 years ago, do you think you'd do that role today? What you're doing?
I wouldn't do it, because I needed to be molded to where I am now. I needed to experience all those things that I have experienced,
Yes.
so that I can actually fit the role. If I was given that role 6 years back, I would actually not do anything with that role. I will just be I won't be effective. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. And I think what I get to you as you speak, what I get from you is that we're not giving ourselves time. We're not letting God take charge of our lives as young people so that he can mold us. We want now, and if he doesn't, we are frustrated. We feel like he does not care.
Yeah.
Yet you also need to understand, even if it was an earthly dad, he wouldn't easily give you his car when you're 7 and you don't know how to drive. You're not even allowed to. And then just tell you, my son, just take this. So such things. So what other challenges are facing young people in the marketplace as you work, as you interact with them? What other challenges are facing them? And those are challenges that are hindering them to become the light in the marketplace.
Earthly desires. We all want money. Money is good.
Yes.
But we want it in ways that are not pleasing to God.
Yes.
So we try to think, if we do this, we like just shortcuts. Because now God is not coming. We've prayed, he's not coming. So let's do this shortcut. It's easier. So that's a big challenge to young people, because at the end of the day, they get all these things, but they're not happy. They're not able to keep them for as long as God will want them to keep them for.
Yes.
So I think we're just in a rush, and sometimes we even find ourselves we are losing focus of what we wanted. Yeah.
Wow, and I'm happy to speak with you, Carol, because I know your background a bit, and having worked the 6 years you didn't work as a married person, you worked as a young girl, and then you've been able to translate and have your wedding, get married. And I think that is a source of encouragement to other young people that have been able to, or who are struggling and thinking it is not possible. That I can still do my work, I can still remain a Christian and a believer, not just a named Christian, but someone who believes in God and practices it. So maybe my other question would be, how do you balance? You are a minister in the children ministry, and you are working for Missions Aviation Fellowship. And thank God you don't work on Saturdays and Sundays. But sometimes you may have aspects that may require you on another day, church-related, and also MAF requires you. So how do you balance that?
We have a good relationship with I'm glad that the company I work for is Christian-based. So if I have an issue about church, we are able to talk to our bosses, and we just see how I can work. I can work around it. And if it's not possible, I will not take it. But if it is possible, they're always happy to give you time off and go do what you need to do. Yeah, they're not as rigid as other places.
But still it can be a no at some point, because maybe there's work to be done. There are things that need to be addressed. And it can be okay this time, but sometimes we find people want to push. I'm a Christian, I'm a believer, I really have to make sure I cannot miss any meeting.
I think you need to also have a good work-life balance.
Yes.
Because you need this job to survive. And also what you're doing at your workplace is important.
Yes.
It's just as important as what you're doing at home. So you need to be able to know, to just put your priorities right.
Yes.
Is this as important as this? And then just follow through with whatever you have decided. It is good to go and do church things.
Yes.
But it's very important to also do your work, because you need the work to survive.
Yes. And I think that balance sometimes we fail, yeah?
Yeah.
And it's something that we have to maintain. And I think for you, that is something that God has helped you to be able to, for you then to transition to where you are now. I know we don't have a lot of time. My other question is, someone may be desiring to join, to be an aviator, as you called it. And I'm happy that you are a lady, because sometimes we think like, these jobs. But before I ask you something comes to my mind. Have you had situations whereby men have challenged you, or they felt this is their space, and you're coming to our space?
Yes, all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Engineering is male dominated.
Yes.
And sometimes people might feel like you're trying to challenge them and you're not enough to get to challenge them.
Yes.
But I guess after some time working with them, they get to see, this one can do it much better than we thought this other one can do it. So yeah, I think I have already beaten that level. Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, what did you tell that person who want to be an aviator? Someone may watch you and say, oh my, this is a good thing to do. What did you tell them that they should do so that they can become like you are as we get to close the program?
I will tell them to work on themselves and make sure that this is something you love. Make sure it's your passion, because it's a course, it's a career that requires you to love it. If you do not like it, it will not be, you won't be fulfilled doing it.
Yes.
So just if you're in school, work on your grades, be focused.
Yes.
And also be very patient. Don't rush. It doesn't require you to rush. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. That means I don't just look at you and say, okay, now tomorrow I want to be like Caro. Yeah, I must have it at heart. I must be something that I love, passion, so that I can follow that.
Yes.
Wow, we need to end this program. Our time is up.
Thank
thanks so much, Caro, for coming. And I believe there's a girl who will watch you and feel like, I want to be like her. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching this program. I believe that you've learned something from Carol. She's an engineer. If you're there, a young girl who's aspiring to bring a career or in that line, do not give up. It is possible. And Carol, our guest today, is a good example. My name is Beatrice Chuchu. God bless you. See you next week.